Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Emily Campbell, and I'm a senior here at North Shore this year. I'm Samantha Barnes. I'm a senior at North Shore High School.
My name is David Soche, and I'm a senior at North Shore High School.
Hi, my name is Marshall. I'm
Greg Perret, teach calculus and statistics at North Shore.
I'm Amelin Mukherjee.
I am Mr. Thompson, Richard Thompson of North Shore High School. I teach AP Histories, World, American, European, gifted civics, and government.
Can you talk about your background in religion?
Well, both my parents are Christians, so I was raised up in a Christian home. Been going to church most of my life.
I was raised Catholic, and I still am to this day.
I was not raised in a religious home, but I married a wonderful Baptist girl who drugged me to church occasionally. But then I started studying, and around the age of 30, read a Bible that a friend gave to me, and submitted to its teachings and faith. So, go to a Baptist church, Grace Memorial Baptist Church.
I would consider myself an atheist. Atheist / agnostic.
I was raised Southern Baptist my entire life, So I've had like ups and downs, like doubts about, God, but it's been Southern Baptist my whole life pretty much.
My dad is an atheist, but he and I now are very quiet about, we don't exactly, inform my mother that she's an atheist, so, yeah.
What does atheism mean? There's an arrogance to them in this sense, that if an atheist absolutely 100% knows that there is no God, the only way they can know that is to have access to 100% universal knowledge.
Correct, but what if they call themselves agnostic atheists?
Agnostics are dishonest atheists.
Right.
Because here's why. Because they say, I don't know if there's no God. You don't know either, and the question is unknowable, so let's don't pursue the answer. Yet in any other question of life, they think there's an answer, except for this one question.
Yeah, I think all of the... I don't think it is. I think that we can't determine science either. I think that everything in science is model dependent. All we can do is make observations and say, based on the observations we have, this is the assumption we'll go with. And we even know ahead of time, this probably, almost definitely, is not fully correct. But this is the best we can come to. This makes correct predictions. And so we constantly try to find ways to prove it wrong, to evolve it, to go, okay, this is a little bit better model, this is a little bit better model, etc.
What do you think about heaven and after you die? What happens after you die?
I feel like after you die, that's it. That's the end, I don't think there is a heaven or a hell or any sort of afterlife.
I do believe, of course, that there is an afterlife. I believe in a heaven, a hell, and a purgatory. Purgatory is just being the place where you go kind of in between to prepare yourself for heaven. But, it's really hard to get a real picture of what it would be, is it a place, it's really hard to relate because it's so extraordinary as to, not necessarily being something that we can conceive. But I believe that salvation is only attained through accepting Jesus in your heart and committing your life to a life more like Jesus and a better life. And that's not restricted to like just Baptists or any denomination. I think Catholicism, Methodists, and all that, I think all those parents line up with accepting Jesus into your heart.
I have to think that, this can't be it on earth. There has to be some kind of afterlife. And that's also backed up by what the Bible says.
Do you think that your actions are part of what determines whether you go into heaven or hell?
Oh, no. Heaven's not determined by your good works because ultimately we're not good in nature. There's nothing that we can ever do to get to heaven.
What are your main core values?
I put most of my core values in the teachings of the Bible. A lot of the teachings of Jesus that are in the Gospels and stuff, I'll look at that as far as how I should act around people, how I should live my life, the 10 Commandments, and then also just general human ethics. Living a life kind of outside of the Bible, there's other ways I see it as far as how I should act around people.
I'd say honesty is one of the big ones. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. Those are the main and integrity things.
Treat others the way that you want to be treated, which is the golden rule, which obviously came from the Bible. Jesus taught love, and Jesus taught a radical love for Jesus also.
treat others as you want to be treated, you know, not because of, you know, a heaven or a hell, just because it's the right thing to do.
I think that if you look in any religious text, you know, from the Bible to the Quran to, you know, the precepts in Buddhism, and if you look around, there's a lot of key core principles. You know, one of them is one that's been around for 4,000 years before Christianity, which is the golden rule: do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. It's almost verbatim as it was from the pillars of Zoroastrianism. And I think that the reason why you see there are some really good nuggets of moral wisdom in religions, and I think that's because in religions we see what is most important to us as people. We're trying to define this is the best of us.